Hey everyone, TA Sam here with part 4 of our 8-part series on Microsoft Word. In short, parts 1 through 3 cover kind of an introduction to Microsoft Word, the basic features, and then reviewing your document. This feature is going to cover the Styles tab, which is an incredibly powerful tab for you. And it'll especially be useful in parts 5 through 7 when you're creating tables of contents, doing figures and tables, and things like that. So basically what styles allow you to do is that they allow you to set what your default text looks like in different styles. So right here in normal, this is what I've set my normal to look like. I think yours default might be Calibri size 11 or something like that. Don't worry about it too much. It won't be that for long. But a couple, cautions of this is that if you were to update a style, so you can change this to be whatever you want, but if you were to change it mid-document, it changes everything that's defined in that style. So you're gonna be typing out most of your document in normal. If you were to change your size or your style of normal, like say you're 5 or 6 pages in, it'll change anywhere that there's normal text. So let's say I just changed this and I want to be size, Calibri light, and I want to be size 14, and then I want to go to update, my selection. It's going to change everything in there. So just be cautious about that when you're changing these. Um, that's why I encourage you to set these styles beforehand. So I would encourage you to do that with me in the video right now. Or if you do change them mid-video, to just check everything. So let's get a rewind of what just happened going. Your styles tab is going to be here in the home. And for those of you keeping score at home, you can access your styles by going Alt, H, L. And then you can kind of go around. You can see there's a lot of them built into Word, but we're going to be creating our own. So we'll start out with the normal because that'll be your basic one. And there's a couple different ways to edit your styles. First of all, you can, like I did earlier, if you type something out and you alter it, you can right click on a style and then hit update that to match the selection. Another option is you can click this here and there's a drop down menu and you can go create a style in here, new style, manage styles, or you can do this, expand it window in here and do that. For the normal selection for the first one, we're just going to go and do update selection. So again, we want to be Times New Roman, so you can follow along with me. Type something out, highlight it, and that, for those of you, again, keeping score at home, that's Shift Home to highlight everything to the left of your cursor. And you can go over to your font, hit Times New Roman, Alt H, excuse me, FS for this size. We're going to be size 12. And you also want to do single spaced and make sure that you have a space after yours and not a space before. Again, this just makes our document stay neat, that you don't have to enter a paragraph every time. This is size 8. You can go in here, modify it up, modify it down. I like mine at 8 point, and then there you go. And then once you have it highlighted, you can right click on your styles, hit update normal to match selection, and you're done. Now the second one I want to create is a header. So this would be if we're doing like our introduction tab or your methods tab, like a results conclusion type of thing. This separates out your document, and you can also thank me later. It's going to be useful when you're doing your table of contents. We're actually not going to modify it from here. And the reason is that you should have header 1. And actually I tried to do this in the main header. So you can see that's heading 1, but it actually locks in a couple settings. So we're going to actually go create a style. But here's what I want to do. I want mine to look, if I was to do it, I want it to be bold, underline, all caps, introduction, like that. Easy to pick out of the text. So that's what I want it to end up looking like. Actually, there we go. So we're actually going to go here. We're going to create a style. And you're going to say a couple of different things. So the first thing you need to do is name it. So we're going to go main header because I also want to have a subheader later on. Style type paragraph. Oh, it already exists because I already made it. Give me 1 second to undo what I did. The error I was getting was because I already had a paragraph named main header. So style type, you want to keep it at paragraph. Style based on, you can keep it on normal because we're going to edit everything we need. And then the style for the following paragraphs, this is very useful. You want to set this to normal. So what this is going to mean is that if you were to type out a header and then hit your enter key or a paragraph, it's going to start your next line under this in the normal style that we set. So this just saves you having to change it constantly. And so right here, you're going to see your main area. This is going to be most of the settings you need. You can see font size, font color, things like that. You can see a preview of what it looks like. But you're also going to have over here a couple different options. So in short, you'll have the font, which is kind of an expanded version of what we had there. So this, messes with, what font you're using, the size, any text effects, things like that. There's a couple advanced features you can look through on your own. Paragraph. So this is going to, say, oh, make sure you have the 8 point underneath or after it, excuse me. Your line spacing, if you want to have a special thing, let's say for your like a references area, line and page breaks. And there's actually another feature in here that we'll come back to at the end of this video, or actually in a couple minutes actually. You can also see tabs. This is if you want to space it out. This could be useful for a resume if you're trying to align things on the right. Border, again, I'm not going to take you through this, but border and frame are mostly aesthetic things. Language is just going to change your language around. Also, if you want to turn off spell check, you can do it in there. Numbering, if you have a lot of lists, this could actually be useful. So you can change your, your numbering format. You can also, if you're doing bullets, you can change your bullet style. And there's a lot of different symbols built into Word, and you can actually use any of those. So maybe an arrow key could be useful for something. Play around with it if you really think it's helpful. You can use pictures, things like that. Again, we're not going to go into that this video. You can change shortcut keys and then text effects like you're doing like a lot of word art and things like that. So to create our header style, I'm going to go over to the font tab, and I want it to be Times New Roman, size 12. So you should always stay in size 12, but to have it stick out, you should have it be bold, and then I actually want to have it underlined. And I want a thick underline for this. And I want it to be black, and I want my font to be black. Then I also want it to be all caps. So I can click that, and that's what it looks like. And I hit OK, but then there's one more thing I want to change, and you can thank me later. Go over to the paragraph. This is going to be very useful for your table of contents. And you click outline level. This is going to change the levels of your outlines, which I know you may have a question about it, but I'm going to ask you to politely hold your question until we get to our table of content video, which by my schedule should be video 7, so you're going to have to hold it for a little bit, but just trust Uncle Sam on this one here, and set it to level 1. And this is, again, going to be helpful for a table of contents. And actually, I wanted to change my paragraph style while I was there. I want to have 8 points before, so then it doesn't get clumped up at all. We want our spacing to be very easy to read. And I should be good. And there's my header, so I can type introduction, and there we are. Nice, and then right after that, it's normal. So very easy to do. And so I'm going to go through, I'm going to make a bunch of different ones here, and I'll kind of unpause the videos as I do them, but I think it would be, not very useful for you to sit here and watch me do that. So the second one I'm going to create is a subheader, and I'll flash the settings before I move on. Have you follow us? I did the subheader, paragraph normal, I'm going to move quick, font, size 12. I want this to be bold and italic. I don't want it all caps. I don't want it underlined. And then I need to change my paragraph style. So I don't think I need the before still. So I'll put that to 8. After, I didn't want to exit out, 8. And then I want this to be, why is that set to that? No style. I don't know why that's stuck on that. I'm not sure what the issue I was just having there, but just let me stop doing it. So I want my subheader to be level 2, 8 point after. I had to kind of exit out and redo it. Looks good. Let's go back to the font. Moment of deja vu for everybody watching. Italic 12. Everything looks good. Paragraph. Maybe that was the issue. Oh, that was an issue. I don't know. Sorry, one thing I forgot to mention is we're going to be creating this as a template. So go back through and change your main header if you haven't already. You want new documents based on this template here. So this is going to basically allow us to create a template out of all the things we're making and then save us the time of having to recreate this every single document. So then here we have, the subheader, and this is our main header. And then I also want to create a label for our figures and a label for our tables. I'm going to set those at level 3 and level 4 respectively. So we're going to create another style, set on paragraph, figure label. New documents based on this template. Font, I want this to be, you want it to be bold italic as well. Or sorry, just bold, excuse me. And this is again where, or just italic. And this is again where you just want to be consistent. So you could bold it, you could italicize it. Whatever you do, you just want to be consistent. And then I also want this to be centered. I think that's in my, there we go, I want this to be centered. And I want it to be outline level 3. Again, you'll thank me for this later. You don't need anything before it. And this should be good to go. No style based on, no style. Make sure that worked out okay. Yeah, it did. Okay, so there's our figure label. And then we're going to go through and create a table label. So this is going to be very similar. This is for labeling our tables, which we'll get into in, I think, video 6. Table label. And for this one, actually, for tables, you're going to be a lot more compact. So we're going to go Times New Roman. And we're just going to stay regular here because that's all you need to do for a table label. And we're actually going to go no size after it either because tables are going to need to be a little more compact. And then, let's see, what do you want to do here? I don't want to do any of that. I do want it to be centered though. Okay, let's see how that looks. Table label, perfect. And then we're going to create one for our table values actually while we're at it. So table values need to be very compact. And I'm actually going to set, you can set the default to 10. I'm going to keep it at 12. You might need to go to 10 for it though. Times New Roman, you want it to be centered, you want it to be compact. This is also where, let me make sure I have this based off of no style. Stuff following paragraph normal. Paragraph, nothing before, nothing after. And I want these to be centered as well. And I want these to be very compact. And I'm actually just going to double check a couple of the other things I did because I think I might have missed something. Go back through here and I'm going to recreate, I'm going to go back to my table label and I'm going to alter that so that the ones after that are going to be table values after I've created that one. And then I'm going to create a couple other ones. I'm running out of time. I'm limited to 15 minutes. So I'm just going to pop them on the screen. I just realized I only have one more style I have left to make it. I think I can pop it in. And this is going to be our header. Actually, I'm going to call it page number / header. Keep it all like that. And this is just going to be for the top. It's going to be a very easy one to make. Start with the following paragraph. We're going to set that to normal. It's going to be Times New Roman, and it's just going to be right aligned. And we also don't want any spacing on this one just to keep it tight. You should always have a header and a page number on most of your documents. Outline level, that's fine with me. Nothing after. And there you go. These should be most of the styles that you need. New documents based on this template. There we go. So now that we have all of our labels ready, we can go to File. We're going to first save it. And then you can go File, Save As. And then under your options here, the default is going to be a Word document, a docx, but you can also save it as a Word template, a .x. So you can do that. Name it whatever you want. I'm going to keep mine a Word 4 because, spoiler alert, we're going to modify this a little later on. But this is a good way to save our fonts. You can go Save, and then if you were to go File, New, it should show up as one of your templates. Oops, it did not. Let's check. The issue I had is I just did it a little too soon. These are all pinned, so I go to More Templates, and you can go to Personal. So those are all ones I made before. And you can see down here in the personal, there it is, and we can pin it. And then if you create it, you're going to have exactly what you had written, which is what we had here. So that's why we can modify it to do like a title page later on, but then we can also, you see all our things already there. So I hope this is useful. I would go through it, maybe watch it twice if you're trying to create all your templates, play around with it a little bit, do what you want to do. Most important thing is be consistent. And as always, like, subscribe, share, you know the drill. Leave a comment, I'll get back to you. and keep a lookout for part 5 of the series.